Yeah, it's the only way to do it.
This is the best way to do it. I made a little intro. It's just like starting now. Okay. No, that's it. That's the whole intro. All right, ready. And boom. There we are. Lovely.
That's it.
Hey, what's up, Dave? So, what's up, nerds? And welcome to the New Meta podcast, a show about things we learn from video game culture. Today we're learning, wow, I already fucked up. Today we're hanging out with Dave from Shelf Life, New Jersey.
Hey, what's up?
And we're going to talk about stuff. And before we start, since this is the first episode, I just want to go over just a brief thing about it. So the idea came about as kind of a joke, but talking about video game culture and meta gaming specifically. So the thought process of the phrase metagaming is what is the current norm of how a game is played. So just to give, we're going to talk about Fortnite. So talking about Fortnite in this specific example, the meta at the time when we first started was double shotguns, and you can shoot with one shotgun and switch the other one. It's just the thing that everybody does. And the idea of the new meta is what can we do to work around that? Or like, what's the new cool thing? Like, what's new? What's next? That whole thing. And the name actually popped up as a joke because we were just like, we were doing things you weren't supposed to be doing in PUBG. Like, you're supposed to survive and win the game, but we're doing backflips and we're running into each other and killing teammates and still winning the game, which kind of breaks the meta. And that every time we killed each other or shot each other, it was the new meta. And I've never laughed so hard, and that's how the name came about. So
Fair enough.
there it is. Magic. Dave, what's up, man?
Not much. I'm excited to be. This is my first time being on a Twitch.
Oh wow. I for some reason I thought you already had been on. I don't know if you were playing, if you. I don't know. I feel like you've been on, or you know so much about the space already.
I do, but I've never just really delved in. Like, if you see, like, I don't have the cool headphones. I don't have like the nice setup. I made this though.
Perfect.
Can you read it? I just wanted to like really fit in and just kind of get the whole idea
That's
of
perfect.
what a Twitch is.
That's perfect.
It's yeah, but I think too when it comes to what we've been discussing, everything's been like on and off text messages about gaming. It's really hot.
I'm sorry I made you turn your AC off.
Just the idea of like being a gamer, which is kind of like a really weird term now. I don't play as many current games that really have like a meta, so to speak, other than Fortnite. I just like shooting teens, man. Just those teens, they're having so much fun. But,
Goddamn youths.
It's crazy.
Dude,
But,
actually, I was at a wedding this past weekend, and there were just a bunch of kids just scattered around, just straight flossing everybody, doing like the orange shirt kid dance. And I thought that was really funny because if if we go back when I was that age, I could say that because I'm almost 30. But when I was that age, I look at those kids and be like, I would never have the courage to just get up and just start dancing in the middle of the dance floor. But it's all of a sudden inspired this whole generation of just being weird and doing weird things because everybody just kind of gets it. And I have like people from my gym and like telling me like their kids watch me on Twitch. It was a terrible idea. And they're just like, yeah, go to bed. It's past your bedtime. And they're just like, yeah, like they love Fortnite, they know everything about it, and they're like 6, like 9, 10 years old, and I'm like, I am not a role model. But the point is that everybody it's one of those things you just pick up and go. And I have, as a veteran, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a veteran.
all right.
Because
thank you for
not
your
a
service.
Fortnite. Yeah, it's a lady. I would say a veteran of PUBG, and I'm past the 1,000 hour mark. So I've put some time in, and I can safely say that we're not in a good place right now. If and there's a very strong divide between my Fortnite friends and my PUBG friends because I have no Fortnite friends. Everybody plays PUBG. and it's so popular it actually murders your growth unless you're really fucking good at the game or you're just really funny for whatever reason. Yeah, Noski's one of his Gen Z's. So, what was I gonna say? One of the so one of the things I liked about it. So, I know you were really into wrestling. I don't know how far.
I'm really into, I think, wrestling video games more than anything.
We're talking like how far back? Are we talking like PS1,
Oh,
PS2, like SmackDown? Are we going like
no,
No
WrestleMania
Mercy,
on
So WrestleMania 2000?
no, WrestleMania on Super Nintendo.
Oh shit, was that
Where you,
the same WrestleMania as arcade? Not the arcade one. I'm
I think
thinking
it was like a different version of it, but it was just like you could it was basically like Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, Yokozuna, Undertaker. Like it was very limited, but I remember renting that from Blockbuster way back when.
holy shit,
And
that's another
then
relic.
yeah, and then once wrestling games hit N64, it's crazy.
I lost
Crazy.
my shit when you could start customizing people.
That's exactly it.
Like the different also the two different ones were like you had the 3D ones and you had like the shitty 3D ones. You had like
Hmm.
you had No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 and all those games, and
Great.
then the really shitty. I think actually the first couple ones. I can't remember.
Attitude
I think it was Attitude. I think it was those
and
games.
oh, there's another
There
one
was
that was
another one
called
that was just like that, but Attitude was the one
Fall
that
Away or something. I don't know. They just always pick random things to say.
yeah.
It's just like WWF, nah,
I think they have
and
the
it
same
just
PR guy as the Mountain Dew campaigns. It's
yeah.
just this whatever word the whatever buzzword they want to go with. But I bring up wrestling because there's a certain mythology element behind it that's present in like the costumes and the presentation and all those things. And all those things I loved about wrestling, I now love about Fortnite. And it kills me because I just like it like they're so good at like continuity and storyline, and there's just always some new thing that everybody speculates about, and it's like this big buzz. And that's a big part of why I think I'm gonna say it, PUBG's dying. I feel bad. It hurts to say. But and I don't mean it in a sense like that game's gonna die and go out forever. It's gone.
No.
Goodbye. It's gonna live at second place at its best.
Hmm.
Yes, I said it. Like at best, and it did really well, and it brought so much to the battle royale genre that wasn't there before. But that's its place in line. It's like the somewhat realistic game that isn't Arma 3. And
I
in a
mean, it'll
battle
always
royale.
beat Paladins. So
Yeah, I mean,
good,
I
good
mean,
for you.
shit. Like, although I will say a special shout out to Radical Heights. You lived for about 3 months. I don't know if you got to play Radical Heights, but it was a
No.
free to play battle royale that has like zero player base right now. Like even Paladins has a player base.
But I mean, you got to think about it too. For PUBG and Fortnite to exist and coexist in this place is kind of, I mean, it's not really the norm to have two huge like monster titles in the same, pretty much the same game, occupy the same space. I mean, there was Overwatch, and then there was that other one. What was that other one that came out?
Team
And
Fortress 2.
like,
No,
no.
older, newer.
It was supposed to come out the same. It came out like within weeks of each other, and everybody thought that was going to be the one that made it.
That's a good
It
question.
was like the people that bought HD DVDs versus Blu-ray,
Yeah, that was a weird war.
and
And
then porn decided with Blu-ray, and they won.
yeah, I mean that was pretty much the deciding factor. Right? I'm trying to look at Overwatch release date. I don't know. I honestly, it's so buried. I have no idea.
Well, there was a game. It was basically the same exact game. Um, but yeah, I mean, we don't even know what it's called now, and it was actually like favored above Overwatch because it looked more adult. It didn't have like kind of the goofiness that you saw with like tiny glasses on Gorilla. But I don't know. I mean, especially when you have a company like Blizzard backing it, and again, every character had this story that you're not really getting in the game, but with all the things like web comics, I mean, what other company can release like not even a 5 minute short about a character and it like breaks the internet?
Yeah.
Like Diva did something in a short, and like I saw it everywhere. It
Yeah,
was
I saw.
all
I think I saw like a bus ad for it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then Overwatch on ESPN, that blew my mind.
yeah,
I had to stop and like watch it, and I was like, I don't follow the teams. I played a little bit of the game. I kind of understand the mechanics, and like I do watch esports pretty regularly. So watching that on ESPN, I
crazy.
was, it's fucking gone. I just wanted to cry. Yeah,
I've seen people wearing New York Excelsior jerseys,
yeah.
which is out of control. That's
That's the
crazy to
that's
me.
the next level. That's yeah. I mean, like to have that as a recognizable. You know, it's not we're not like household item or household name just yet. Not that level. But I will tell you, I think actually when we first wanted to do an episode, I was talking about I went to the bagel shop one morning and someone was talking about esports. I don't know. It just like my one ear went up and I was like esports. Someone's talking about this, and they're talking about Fortnite and talking about this and was the game called Battle Right, by the way? Someone in chat said Battle Right.
Yeah, I think that may
It
have
might
been
have
it.
been. All right. Well, rest in peace. Pouring out for your homies.
Didn't last long enough.
Didn't last long enough that we
Yeah,
could easily Google it. That's how far down it went.
yeah.
So I went to the bagel shop and a lady was talking to one of her coworkers, and he was just talking about like esports and this and that. She's like, "Did you see that? Did you see that documentary on esports about the people that like play video games and like they have a lot of fans? It's like a show and stuff. Like I didn't know that existed." And as she's ringing me up, she looks at me dead in the eye, and says, "You look like one of those esports people." And
And how quick did it go? Like you're very racist.
my
Like
first thought,
instant.
my knee jerk reaction is like, that's that's kind of racist. That's
It's a
kind
little
of,
racist.
but she was educated in that assumption, so
Yes.
I kind of let it slide. I didn't say anything,
Yeah.
but I was just like, man, like I love esports. Like I love video games.
Yeah.
I love like competition. It's kind of like, and I
And
equated it to saying like, hey, it's like if you like football or whatever, it's kind of the same thing. It's just a video game instead of that.
it's true. And I mean, if she was being racist, she'll be dead soon. So she's older.
She didn't
We're gonna
squint at
beat
me,
her.
so that was good news. That was cool.
Okay.
That's
That's
okay.
cool.
I didn't get kicked out.
But with esports, the thing that blows my mind is I've seen more New York Excelsior jerseys out in the wild than New York Islanders
Wow.
shirts or anything, which is insane to me. I mean,
Huh.
I also work at a comic book shop, so like that also, but at the same time, I don't know. But where were we? I feel like we've just been moving. I wanted to say something that's gonna piss off my friend Carl a lot. You know Carl.
Oh yeah, I love Carl.
He does some streaming for like
He does like
the marathons for
yeah, yeah.
Cure and
He
things
does
like
like
that.
St. Jude and all that stuff. Actually, shout out to Carl because Carl answered a bunch of questions for me when it first started out. It was just probably about two and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years ago, maybe way before that. Because I technically started streaming and I was playing around with it in like 2011 or something like that, 2012, like when my account was like officially created, and I was just playing Counter Strike, and I was just like, I don't even know what to play. I just kept playing the other stuff. Um, but then he was doing like St. Jude runs and just all this stuff for charity, and I was like, I really want to get into that. Like, I don't know anything about streaming or talking to people or getting set up, and he answered a bunch of stuff for me, and I gotta say I wouldn't be where I'm at right now doing all this stuff without Carl helping me with that. So
It's the nicest boy in the world.
really is. All right, let's ruin his dreams. What did you want to say?
Yeah, let's ruin his dream. So, it's funny you put this list of things to talk about, and you were like the storyline and the plot of Fortnite, and
Yeah.
instantly I was like, oh shit, there's a plot in Fortnite. So I googled it and I read it, and it all made sense to me with all the different things I'd seen, and I knew there was like loosely something, but I didn't know how in depth it was, even to the point of like the meteor hitting and how if you weren't playing it that exact second and it's up online and all this craziness. And the only game that I can really liken that to in a very loose way is like Dark Souls.
Hmm.
To the point where Dark Souls is this game where the storyline, it's not, it's maybe kind of a linear game when it comes to like where you're moving, where you're going, but the storyline and the story that you get is from things like the environment, the items, like I started playing and he was telling me like, oh, if you want to know the story, start reading the different item descriptions and you'll
Yeah.
find things. So it's to the point where in Fortnite, if you read, like I know I always go to that one mansion that's near Lonely Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that like in the basement is basically, I didn't even understand. It's like a supervillain's base. And
Yeah.
I read that, and then if you look at that, then all the clocks were showing the countdown to the rocket being launched, and then it comes down to like all the different stuff with like how the world's broken, and now it's pulling stuff from different times. And there's a lore to this game that doesn't need it, but you're just moving through the game, and if you just pay attention and soak it all in and just take those clues, you get a full story, which is really awesome. I mean, Fortnite isn't the thing where you're gonna like, because parts of like Bloodborne and Dark Souls are really, really sad,
Yeah.
like insanely sad, and awesome that they do that. So it's not at that level, but at the same time, for a game that has a magic bus that drops you off to like shoot each other, like there's way more story and interesting stuff there than there should be. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it shows that you don't have to have like a super emotional or super even like sad storyline.
No.
Like it's just like if you look at it, it looks like they just spread out a bunch of ideas and you're like superheroes, time travel, interdimensional, da 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 da. And like I think we're on season like 5 or 6 or something like that. And I think I started playing around like season 2 or 3. And like it was just like, oh, new skins, new this, new that. And then just like gradually stuff started happening. And like different characters from different themes started showing up. And then the crack in the sky, and now, you know, and then the rocket, and then yeah, again you start playing with rifts and space and time travel, and right now, and they had a whole like superhero thing which everybody just lost their minds. And what was anyway, the most recent one, where are we at right now?
Well, we have
The
golf
cube.
carts now, which
We have,
changed
well, yeah,
everything.
we have the golf carts.
Oh,
We
the
have
cubes.
cars.
Yeah, the cubes are
And
crazy.
now the cubes are just appearing, and there's no context to this cube, but it's like all the hype. It's like, oh, dude, like, and every time I played, like, oh, dude, the cube moved to like a totally different place, like it's over there, and all of a sudden it's like low gravity in this like little bubble.
That dome, which destroyed me the other day.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it
Oh,
made
yeah,
me
you can
jump,
also get struck
like-
by lightning. I found out
It
the
made
hard
me
way.
jump into space pretty much. Like
Yeah.
normally I'm like, I'll get a little jump. This one just fired me.
Yeah.
Very unfair.
And if you shoot at it, apparently it bounces, it ricochets, and then it kills someone in another direction. Or if you shoot it and it bounces back to you, you get struck by lightning. I don't know how any of that makes sense, but you know, whatever. It's like whatever story they want to go with. They're like, yeah, it's like it's not like look at the style of the game. You don't have to it doesn't have to take itself that seriously. Like no one has to die, and there's like a revenge plot like Max Payne. It's just it's fun. That's why we did it, and that's
Kind of
the
where
whole
video
thing.
games came from.
Yeah. Like even like choose your own adventure, like
Yeah.
but was kind of just like, oh, like what if X, Y, and Z, and because of and it's lent itself to that style. And as much as I would want to see like Epic and everybody like totally buy out PUBG and optimize it and whatever, make it realistic but kind of cartoony, like that would be my ideal game. It's just like you mash two together and you don't have a building mechanic, or maybe you do, whatever. Because I just want to see a really well optimized game that's just awesome across the board. That's actually what I want, you know. But I just assumed that's what it would look like if Fortnite bought them out and all this other stuff. Anyway, fun fact: Tencent, the gigantic corporations. Since we're talking about corporations owning corporations, and everybody owns everybody, and I'm assuming that we're on Planet Disney because fucking Disney owns everybody anyway. So
Yeah.
Tencent's like this gigantic international company, and I think they're based in China or Hong Kong. It's like, but they own both. I believe they own Epic Games, and they have like a stake in both like PUBG Corporation and Epic Games. That like they have a little bit of everything, and I can't remember if they own one or the other. Yeah, they own a big stake in both. Thanks.
They can make so
they're like
fine with both
Yeah.
existing, coexisting. Yeah.
So I mean, but they also own a whole bunch of other stuff, and actually their rip-off game. They own the rip-off game that was the PUBG mobile version, which by the way runs fucking fantastic. You ever played it on your phone? It's the smoothest version of the same exact game, because PUBG took
Wow.
took their elements. Like their elements are literally copy and paste from the Unreal store, and they said, "All right, here's the Unreal Engine. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Here's the layout. This kind of works. Whatever. Bam." And they made it into that battle royale. So it's like they're not really an original thing. It's just their license and they bought it to use it. So they have all those things. So that's why Tencent can create a mobile version of that that's fully optimized on their modified version of Unreal Engine, which Fortnite runs on Unreal Engine. So that's totally so that works on phones as well. So you just kind of have like a like maybe like 60% of the quality. Just the bed. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't even touched it
so much. I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, we're getting there. Really waiting for Smash, by the way. That's a totally different thing.
That's a whole different story.
Oh my god.
I could talk for days.
That's why I had it. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so they have the mobile version, which I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I believe that when the PUBG mobile game first came out and it was just a gigantic rip-off of it, and they couldn't take the name, it was called Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Like verbatim, Terminator 2 Judgment Day was the name of the game, and it was exactly just PUBG on a mobile platform with like some like
Terminator themed things.
Not even, it had nothing to do with Terminator. Absolutely nothing. There was not a single goddamn Terminator.
So they can't call it PUBG, but they called it Terminator 2 Judgment Day, a full title of a movie that already exists.
Yes.
So I could just make a new Pac-Man and call it like Shrek Happily Ever After.
Exactly.
And no one cares. Oh, it's in China. That makes sense.
Yeah, remember, Tencent. So they can, they already have knockoffs of everything we do ever. So that made it even funnier. Then when I saw the trailer.
Have you played my new Smash Brothers? It's called Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, because they had the Unreal Engine, they could borrow all the same elements without modifying anything, and is exactly the same gameplay and everything on a phone. And people stream this actually. Like there's actually a pretty big base of people on Facebook and on Twitch that stream PUBG Mobile, and it blows my mind because I can't I'm so terrible at the game. I wouldn't want to do it. And then you have people like little modifiers, like little ads you see for controllers. And as I talk about it, my phone's probably picking all this stuff up, and I'm gonna see like 10 more ads, but whatever.
Probably, yeah. I just got an ad. As you were saying that, something just popped up.
Yeah.
Microsoft Skype.
Yeah. That messed me up too. I had to like shimmy my way to get away from downloading from the App Store, which I have disabled, to find the like download for Windows. Like there's a download for Windows 10, you have to go to the App Store, blah blah blah, and then all the way at the bottom is like download for Windows, and you get the executable, and that's how we're on Skype now because I had to figure that out. Computer stuff. Anyway, Dave, we're getting a little bit closer to the what time is it? Yeah. So probably on the closing end of things, probably like 5-10 minutes more, and then I gotta go get my ass kicked in Titanfall 2.
Sounds good.
Fuck, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, I wanted to talk about the streaming space. So I brought up like Facebook and everything. So I experimented, and I can only say I experimented because I didn't spend a lot of time on it. We
were all in college.
Yes. One time in band camp. It was Facebook gaming is totally up and running now, and they just straight up bought streamers. Mixer is also fighting for streamers now that Microsoft owns them. Again, fucking another Microsoft product. Congrats. And so everybody's kind of competing with this ultimate Twitch space. Like YouTube, I thought YouTube would be a lot bigger than it actually is with gaming. It's really not. Facebook gaming it's like on par with Facebook gaming. It's so weird. Like people that stream. And actually the crazy thing about it, if you are a partner on Twitch and even affiliate, so I'm an affiliate on Twitch, you have like a no compete clause that basically says like this content right now cannot go anywhere for 24 hours. So that prevents like restreaming. So I can't stream on
like Instagram.
I can't.
Live. You can't Instagram live this while
it can't be the same exact feed. Like I can go on like Instagram and be like a different angle. It just can't be the same exact content. That's like the weird thing. So I could be like, guys, Facebook, check out the stream, blah blah blah. While I have like this set up and like my game is still feeding to Twitch, like that can be totally separate. Yeah, exactly. So you can't someone in chat says you can't go to like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, blah blah blah. Like you can't just do them at the same time.
These chat people are really helpful.
Yeah, they're really on point. Jericho, download, you guys are killing it. And Mixer, YouTube, Facebook, like none of those guys have an exclusivity clause, which kind of.
Has AOL tried yet?
I think
like AOL always shows up like someone's like, oh yeah, this band, they have a really good like unplugged AOL session, and
Holy
it's like
shit.
this year. I feel like AOL is gonna start like, just get ready, guys. 2025, AOL hitting the streaming network.
It's gonna be called AOL Keyword Gaming. We're ready to look stuff up by keywords, and I'm like, this is really hard to find porn. Like, you're just in the way. Like
Yeah.
keywords were just like, oh, like maybe like AOL keywords was the equivalent of like Google did you mean? Like it was
Now
that
you could just be like,
kind of filter.
Alexa, butts.
Yeah, and then butt stuff just appears. Like the slowpoke. It's like the slowpoke meme. Chat says. I don't know which one, but yes.
The slowpoke meme where everything's like, yeah, they're gonna start. Yeah,
Got it.
I understand that.
I just made the face. That's all I got.
Memes are topical.
Yeah,
Kids
they
love
really are.
memes.
Okay, yeah. Is that me or you? I can't tell.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Some little speed demon going
Oh,
by.
I was gonna say big dinner.
No. I did Alexa butts, so.
Oh, okay. So
Alexa, don't use your powers for evil.
it just rumbles. This is a butt rumbling, and it just. That's it. That's the whole sound. The last thing I wanted to touch up on was I fucking miss arcades, and I hate that I have to go to Chinatown to go to a fucking arcade that's like somewhat intact, because everything's all portable. Like, I'm not saying Fortnite ruined that, but the idea of portable gaming and like that stuff is taken away from like going to the arcade and playing games.
At the same time, Fortnite is not something I'd want to play at an arcade ever.
This is also true, although I feel like there's some money to be made with that, so patent that. Amazon already owns it anyway.
I think so. There are some arcades that I like to go to. Somerville has a place called Yestercade.
Is 8 on the Break still around? No, not Somerville. I think that's like I'm gonna mispronounce this, but Dunellen, around that area, the mythical Central Jersey, as we call it.
No, I don't know that one.
Since most of these guys are international or like across the states or whatever, essentially there's a North and a South Jersey. If anybody says there's Central Jersey, they're fucking lying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's no like it's like my midsection. It's just like it's non-existent. It's like you're just lying. You're lying about it. But Dunellen is what I would call the tip of South Jersey, and it's not. But it was one of the last arcades, 8 on the Break, and they had like obscure Japanese games like Paradise, Beat Mania, and just like a whole bunch of stuff. And they were well taken care of because they catered to a competitive gaming. Like the guys that competed in like DDR and stuff that lived around that area had to have like really well-oiled machines. They're really maintained. If you played games that had DLC or like custom content like in the groove, they were all just super maintained and updated. But that's what, 45 to an hour drive just to get to the arcade. It's tough. I mean, Chinatown's no different at this point, but they don't have nearly as many good games. I mean, they have that flip the table one where you could just slap a table and waste $5.
So I'm so excited for the time when like somebody gets to explain DDR to their grandkid.
I guess that'd be me. I'd be the grandfather. Be like, I used to step on light panels and the screen would reward me. And I get to put butt on the screen when I was done.
Yeah.
Because he had 4 characters.
Be like, okay, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Super Mario now jerks me off after every single.
Yeah, I get a hand
And
job for the princess.
I don't
Like,
even ask.
you know, like.
Toad's like, sorry, in another castle, and he's like, all right, assume the position.
That's it.
I'm the boss now.
I like how someone in chat says, "Hi, is this for the Roman medicine?" God damn it.
Is this the what? The Roman medicine?
Have you seen those ads? It's killing me.
Yeah.
Literally killing me. So there's an ad on TV. It's like, hey, you got ED? There's a cure. And it's like Roman. Like find Roman or like
Yeah,
Roman for ED.
if you were a gay gentleman, then I would completely just all my money in on that. Because imagine just being like, "Hey, you got ED? I got the cure right here, Roman."
Do you mean someone in chat says, do you mean your arcades wouldn't eat your ass when you beat? I mean, not by my choice.
No,
No. No. That's like me trying to find a quarter underneath the machine and I'm just not asking for it. It just happens. It's like that. But that's our technology now. In the future, Super Mario Odyssey 15 in VR or AR augmented reality, where it's just in front of you. That's the princess I'm looking for. That being said, Dave, I'm so glad we came around to doing this.
yeah. We will have to talk about Smash Brothers.
We're gonna do a whole thing on Smash Brothers. I think we're just gonna talk about that because there's a whole fucking. All right, I don't know how long this video is, but somebody put together like a whole docu. Have you seen the Smash Brothers documentary?
Yes.
Okay, you have to. There's no.
It's on YouTube, I think, right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
an entire
that's where I
mini
watched it.
series that explains basically the entire competitive scene of Smash Brothers from from like people competing locally, and it covers the whole. It's so well done. I don't understand how that's so well documented. And I
Talk about a game with a meta.
yeah, that's the one. That's what she did.
Look
There.
at Project M.
Project M
They
is
basically
fucking
created
fantastic.
their own meta out of everything. They pick and choose what was available to make the purest version that they're still updating. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they haven't gotten sued by Nintendo yet, or
No.
maybe they have. I don't know.
Who knows?
I guess
I mean,
technically.
it's still very, very active in the competitive circuit. So I'm just upset with the new one. I have the only character that's not technically back. So they say everyone's there, but there's no Charizard. I'm losing my Rock Smash.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's a big move.
Oh shit,
That's super armor.
we gotta put something together. I got a shameless plug here. Actually, let's wrap up and plug up. It's a weird way of saying that. I have my 2-year anniversary with Twitch, my officially unofficial 2-year anniversary. We're gonna do. I'm planning a pizza party, and I might do like a whole thing. I'm gonna see if we can get like a Smash Brothers thing going on or something. Smash Brothers is the easiest to get into, and it would just be like free pizza and like a giveaway or something.
Hey, if you're doing Gang Beasts, I know you stream that.
Yes, actually,
into Gang Beasts.
So separately, I'm gonna do. Oh, you can't crossplay, can you though?
I'm a Gang Beasts.
I don't think you can.
I'm PlayStation 4 on Gang Beasts.
But I mean, well, whatever. We can bring controllers and play that separately. But I do have it on PC, and then you can stream that, or we can stream that. I mean, fuck it, come over. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's coming up, and I'm trying to plan something that we can. So I'm two separate things. I think that Saturday I'm gonna try to do that in-person event, and maybe we'll just live stream it from my phone or something. But that Sunday in that afternoon, I'm gonna try to plan like a longer stream. We can get a variety of things going. There's a game that I try to get everybody in on. It's on PC. It's pretty light game, so even if you have like a MacBook, you could probably still play it.
Ski free.
Close. It's called Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball. So essentially, you're a robot on a wheel, and you have different you have King of the Hill. There's one you can play like basketball, and you're just throwing dodgeballs at each other. And it's the same concept. Like you throw it and I catch it. Like I get I killed you. But in like different like deathmatch style zones, you get a free for all. You could have teams. There's like a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's a real and you create your own lobbies. So we have sometimes up to like 15, 20 people in like a single lobby, and it's fucking chaos. But yeah, Chad is saying ban basketball, and they're fighting back and forth with basketball. Anyway, it is chaos, but I think that's probably one of my favorite games to get into. Seeing that in Gang Beasts, and then we just have like a large party of people that can actually play, and it's a cheap game. It's like maybe $5-10. But those are my plugs, and so that stuff is coming up, and I'm planning. Aside from this podcast, which I'm trying to make a regular thing, I can't make any promises, but we're gonna try to make it as regular as possible. Just topics and people that come up. I'm gonna have a couple streamers on deck. I'm gonna try to do this live as much as we can. and then post it on YouTube or SoundCloud, whatever. And oh yeah, Olgan Topic is fighting on Saturday in China. I'm gonna plug this for him just because it's a huge fight for him. He's in China right now, and he's fighting. Well, the event starts at 5 p.m. their time on Saturday, which is roughly about 5 a.m. here. So if he's in the middle of the card, it's probably like 8 a.m. or something like that. If you want to listen to that podcast, that's finally on iTunes. Thank the Lord. I finally got that on episode 1 on iTunes. Episode 2, we're gonna have the recording as soon as they come back from China, and I'm gonna try to have my next guests on there, and that'll probably be on more on a monthly schedule. So all that news and everything is on Discord. So Dave, hit me with all your plugs. Where can we find you? Tell us a little about.
Find me at Creepy Uncle on Instagram, Twitter, everything like that. That's CR33P.
The 3 3s.
Yeah, and then 2 3s. CR33P. 2 3s. And then also we got shirts, pins, things like that at ShellflifeNJ.
Oh, speaking of which, I got this bad boy.
Nice. Hopefully some more things coming out soon. I want to do some stuff for Halloween. Running low on some other stuff, so more will come with that. And
the macro did not.
For now, that's it.
Man, that macro did not work at all. But essentially, this is one of the pins that was super cool. It's basically Mickey Mouse with a Demogorgon mashed into one, and it's one of my like random pieces that I have hanging out on my desk.
We did our cosplay Mario for a gamer art convention. I think we still have some of those. It's like Mario wearing Sonic skin. We got some weird stuff. It's fun though. But yeah, it's ShellflifeNJ.com. I'll bring you to our store.
That's the one. You guys ship internationally, just from international people?
I don't know. It probably won't there, but if you hit me up, we can figure it out.
True.
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right, Dave. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time, we have to talk about Smash Brothers for a good amount of time. That was pretty good run time. We're at like 39 minutes. Just I think right on the mark. Minus all the other stuff. So I'm gonna hit stop. Dave, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you guys. Right. I'm gonna let you do your thing, and then I'm gonna get to it. So guys, say bye to Dave. Dave is out.
To your Titans.
To the Titans. To we fall.
2.
All
right. See ya.
All
right. The go away button.
That's the one. Stand by for Titanfall, boys. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That was actually a lot of fun. We got to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I actually haven't caught up with him in a while, and I need to set all my. Hang on 1 second. I need to fix this shit. What's up, guys? What's happening? That was a lot of fun, and I want that to be a regular segment, just because I have a lot of stuff I just randomly talk about, and I don't want to be in the middle of having to shoot somebody while we're trying to figure all that shit out. So that was super cool. Anyway, Titanfall is happening. Once I figure out how to launch